something not many people probably thought about until it started happening. Explosions and fires at wells and oil and gas storage facilities around the Eagle Ford Shale.
And if you get an oil tank on fire, there's nothing we can do.
Johnny Gomez has been with the Cotulla Volunteer Fire Department for 32 years.
Locals, yeah, they'll come out and help.
For most of those 3 decades, he and his all-volunteer staff have mostly dealt with brush fires, car wrecks, and the occasional house fire. But more and more, they and other volunteer fire departments across the Eagle Ford Shale are being forced to deal with things they're nowhere remotely qualified to deal with.
If you have an oil field fire, oil facilities or something like that, companies are going to say, don't even bother, because, we're not going to have the equipment.
Tank battery just blew up.
There have been a number of explosions and fires across the play, like this one near Pearsall in January of 2012. Or this one, to which the Cotulla Volunteer Fire Department was called after lightning from this storm struck a tank and set the whole facility on fire.
Usually we just let it burn. It's not safe to go in.
Especially when you consider Cotulla's newest piece of equipment is this 15-year-old pumper truck. They're an all-volunteer department, and again, the lack of training. But some of the volunteers are creating a firestorm of sorts to make sure they get proper training.
This is the most realistic industrial fire training that you can get anywhere in the world.
This is the Texas A&M Extension Service's Fire Training Academy, a facility unlike any other in the world.
We train 80 to 100,000 students a year.
Those students come literally from all over the world to learn how to fight every type of industrial fire imaginable.
If they're in the Eagle Ford Shale area where they're doing a lot of drilling and a lot of operations, they're going to respond to some type of fire eventually.
Which is why Joe Orende, a Cotulla volunteer who works at Medina Electric Co-op full-time, spent a week's vacation in College Station.
At the end of the day, you're just drained, you're tired. I had muscles that hurt that I couldn't believe would hurt.
The school trains both volunteer and full-time firefighters, as well as private industry firefighters.
Control room says you got the block.
Realistic props with very real fire put the students in real-life situations which they may face in an oil field, at a refinery, or, as Cotulla volunteers are seeing, more and more wrecks involving big rigs.
It was much better than what I was anticipating.
Edward Varnador is also a Cotulla volunteer who went through the school with Orende.
I had never realized all the dangers in a car fire and how many different things on that car can hurt you and why we come at it from a certain angle.
It's so intense, your blood starts pumping fast. And then you start squirting that water and you start seeing the effects. And it's so similar to what we've had out here in the field.
Just pull it out.
Back home for Orende and Varnador and other volunteers, this is as intense as the training can be.
Once you get that pressure off, you can open it.
Routine exercises, which have their place as well.
Horizontal ventilation is the venting of heat.
Or watching videos explaining how to respond. Instead of feeling the heat, that rush of adrenaline, or the fear when your metal is put to fire.